everybody. It's the coach. This is...
Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the Queen City of Cincinnati and Paul Brown Stadium right on the banks of the Ohio River. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First and 10 for Dalton. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
51 yards on the punt there. And that will come the offense as they take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's carry number 1 for Kenneth Dixon. The tackle made by Todd Davis.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 31, Jackson. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
So I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
Escaping the pressure right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
In on the stop, Vernon Hargraves.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Ferguson brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, A little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. This will be caught by Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like an I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he comes back with one complete. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 41. On the move to his left. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The drive starts with a run by Perkins. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had the punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the 2nd drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. They give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
So you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. We take a look ahead at what's to come later tonight. Sunday Night Football, it'll be the Vikings and the Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And then tomorrow night, we've got the Seahawks and the Niners from Levi's Stadium. And we were in the Bay Area for the Raiders on Thursday night. Now right back out to watch the Niners on Monday night. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. On second down, Perkins. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
Second and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. Well, I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Tim Williams racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, that was an interesting little chess match there because the offense went empty set. No running backs in the backfield, so they're trying to get people out into a route pretty quickly. But guess what? The defense sees that. They go ahead and move themselves into a blitzing situation and come right after the quarterback. They had more guys there than they could block.
Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Tim Williams, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
A gain of 13. It's a first down. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this one complete on the slant route. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion. Brandon, all things considered, They have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just looking the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, Jackson. And he slides to avoid the hit. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Jackson. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Well, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Tucker now to add the point after. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the 2nd half. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Play action. It's Jackson. He finds an opening past the 40. Caught by Snead over the middle. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So second down, still 10 yards to go, ball on the 43. Throwing again, Jackson rolling to his left. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 20. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Tyus Bowser, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Tyus Bowser make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They'll start the drive with Dixon. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go. Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A good pickup there at 22.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On the give, this is Dixon. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. The Ravens on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's Jackson, and he's got Snead. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 20. 10. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. So now Dalton will lead the Bengals to the line as he'll come up and go for 2. So hold the phone here, Charles. I've kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays. Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. That's good for a Raven 1st down, 15 yards there.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Glover Quinn there on the stop. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Eluding the pressure right, and avoids the contact by sliding. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way, because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the fourth. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. This offense was on the move. Now two straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin, his second touchdown on the season, and the Ravens will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Tim Williams, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has
under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Tyus Bowser in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
That's pulled in at the 32. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
From the 36, Jackson rolling to his right. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play.
And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Derek Morgan in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Marquise Brown with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens continue to pour it on. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. He'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Let's go now. 50 flag. Who that?
Now Jackson on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very...
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown, and the Ravens add on.
Jackson's pass complete to number 16. Touchdown.
Now Tucker to add the PAT.
Justin Tucker lining up for the extra point.
And the lead is now an even 30.
Makes the score Ravens 48.
So that drive, 4 plays. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Got his man. It's Eifert. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Throwing, Dalton. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Here's Ryan Allen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And he fields it cleanly. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did.